My literacy history begins with my great-great-great-grandparents on my dad's father's side of the family who immigrated to the U.S. in 1855 from Boothtown near Halifax in Yorkshire County, England. They settled in Henry County, Illinois. My dad's mother's family had also immigrated to the Henry County area. They donated the land for Moon School, the local one-room schoolhouse, and it was named after them. My father started school in Wichita, Kansas, where the family moved for a few years during World War II when farming was hard. During that time, my grandmother, Irene, worked on B-29s. After second grade, the war was over and the family moved back to Henry County to live on the farm. My dad attended Moon School through 8th grade, then he moved to Kewanee and attended high school there. I never would have known it growing up, and he says he doesn't have fond memories of school. He was always reading or teaching me something when I was younger, or doing math in his head. He taught me my love of learning, that it doesn't ever stop. Now he says he wasn't the kind of student I would want in my class, and that it's hard to fit in when you change schools. He ended up leaving high school and joining the Air Force, training to become a radar operator. He was stationed in Cut Bank, Montana for 3.5 years before returning to Illinois. On my mother's father's side, the most senior side of the family, my great-great-grandparents and great-grandpa immigrated from Belfort, France in the late 1800s. On her mother's side, they were already living in the Midwest as far back as the 1850s. My mother was born and raised in Geneseo, Illinois, but she remembered her grandpa, and she often asked him to teach her French. He said, "No, in America you speak English." She attended St. Malachy's Catholic School for 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade before attending public school. My aunt remembers them wearing their dad's slippers and reading in his chair at night. She was working at the Deluxe Cafe when she met my dad. They were married her senior year of high school. After my parents had been married for 19 years, I was born in 1983. I was raised in Geneseo just like my mom. I was surrounded by literacy as a child. I remember my parents, my cousins, and my family members reading to me and giving me gifts of books. I had a Teddy Ruxpin that read stories to me. My mother also used to take me to the library to participate in their reading programs during the summer. I was always imagining stories and writing. I was an only child, and there weren't any other children close to the house where I grew up. My dad took care of a cemetery, and we lived right next to it, so I was always having adventures and writing stories out in the gravestones. I was so excited to start school. I attended Milliken Elementary School. In kindergarten, I loved the letter people. The vowels were girls and the consonants were boys. I loved to bring papers home for my parents. We read small, paper, easy readers. I don't remember a lot about learning to read, but I do remember always wanting to go down to the reading room. I didn't realize that it was for struggling readers, not good readers. I also remember all the writing projects that we got to do. We were writing to Santa, or we were writing about corduroy. We even got to make a bear. In 6th grade, we published a literary magazine, and you could submit articles. At every grade level, we wrote some sort of book that we bound together and kept. I attended J.D. Darnall High School. I remember reading Shakespeare's plays and having to memorize monologues for speech class. We also had advanced writing courses where we wrote portfolios and did research essays for college prep English. I had some amazing teachers that really helped me during my high school career. Even though I didn't graduate from high school and got my GED, it's a memorable time of my life. In the summer of 2000, I moved to Carbondale, Illinois to attend Southern Illinois University and received my first bachelor's degree in history and political science. After being in the workforce for several years and not finding a job I felt like was making a difference, I returned to go to school in 2007. I graduated with my undergraduate degree in elementary education in 2009. I started teaching in Murfreesboro School District in 2012. During that year, while I was teaching 4th grade, I used Words Their Way as a spelling intervention for my reading practicum. I completed my master's degree in curriculum and instruction that summer. I've stayed involved in the Illinois Reading Council, which allows me to keep learning, networking with colleagues, and meeting authors. I get to share my love of literacy with others. I also keep growing by trying new practices in my classroom. Last year, with my first graders, I tried Literacy Workstations by Debbie Diller. This year, as a reading specialist with my older kids, I am trying Notice and Note strategies. The most important part of my literacy journey is to leave that legacy with my children, to teach them a love of learning, a love of reading, a love of books. Cody was born while I was still in high school, but reading has always been a part of his life. We read Dr. Seuss when he was little. He did many reading activities at daycare. He's always received books for his birthdays. It's all led to many reading awards when he was in junior high and high school. Last year, he graduated from high school. He's had a strong literacy foundation as he attends college and moves on to eventually having his own family to share it with. My younger son Caleb was born in 2006. He loves reading and he loves to meet authors. He's very proud to have earned 100 AR points and read over 1 million words this last year at school. Sometimes Caleb likes to read so much that he has to read while he's eating. Caleb has also done many writing projects at school that he has enjoyed. As I finish this look at my past literacy experiences, I hope to continue to share my love of reading with my family at home and at school.